What's going on, good people of YouTube? It is me, Chavez. Feel like I can never get my microphone in the right place. But I know if you guys can't hear me, you let me know. What's going on, good people of YouTube? It's me, Chavez, and I am back. We are back with another day, another live stream, another player prop talk here on the channel. As always, I hope this content finds you all doing well and in good spirits. We got a fun show ahead of us. Little bit of the same, but hopefully we have some profits to talk about. Maximum profits, minimal turds. Yesterday, rare occasion, all the tacos hit. So really, no matter what taco you play, they all hit. Jalen Green taco ended up being a really good play. So glad that it wasn't Edwards or Brunson. I don't even know who the other taco choice was, but Jalen Green obviously was the best play out of those, and he showed you why. NHL taco hit and Luca hit. So take your pick. It's very rare that all of them hit. There are days where they do hit, but then there are days where we get really bad tacos. So fortunate for us, all the tacos hit yesterday. Let me know in the chat if you played any of those and how that worked out for you. We'll go over some plays that I have my eyes on, but not just me, but a few of my providers in the premium Discord. I'm going to take some of their plays, not because I'm stealing their plays. They get full recognition for these plays, but I really want to showcase their plays and their research on the stream. And we'll go over a couple plays that I like. Player write-up is already in the premium Discord. If you haven't checked it out, check it out. A few plus EV plays also in the Discord. Check those out. Free sheet has been posted in the Discord as well. So a lot of information already posted in the Discord. By the time we get going on a live stream, a lot of work has been done, and it continues pretty much throughout the day in the Discord, premium and freemium. So whichever side you're on, you're getting a good amount of content, good amount of value over in the Discord. And we move on. What's going on, Damien? Good morning to you. Glad you're here. 7 viewers on the stream. Hit that like button on your way in. It means a ton. Helps the channel get recognized, puts it in front of new eyes, and that's how we grow. That's how we build. As always, we start off with the most morbid start in live stream history with this fact. Over 10% of the US population dies in their sleep every single night. And since you're watching this and listening to this, you are not included in that 10%. So #blessed. Make the best of your day. I don't know what that entails. Make your bed. I don't know. Walk your dog. Give somebody a hug. Whatever it is. Do some good shit today. We move on from death to turds. So we definitely know the tacos weren't turds yesterday. If you're new to the stream, if you're new to the channel, welcome in. Appreciate you being here. Hit the like button. But if you're wondering what the hell, why are we talking about turds? Well, we're talking about those players, those props that sold us, that chalked our slips yesterday. I'm sure we have a couple of them, but it's nice on a Wednesday that we don't have a spoiled taco to talk about. I'll kick things off. The Atlanta Braves, the whole damn starting 9 of the Atlanta Braves, starting 8, not including the pitcher, just non-existent yesterday. Acuna, Duvall, Riley, Albies. Let me just make sure that I'm not lying about this, because I was having a chat with Damien this morning about this very topic, but I felt like the Atlanta Braves as a whole really let a lot of people down yesterday. Acuna 0 for 3, Albies 0 for 3, Riley 0 for 4, Olsen 0 for 3, Ozuna 2 home runs. If you had Ozuna in your lineup, that worked. Adam Duvall, 1 for 4, 2 strikeouts, got 1 hit. Took the over on his hits, runs, and RBIs yesterday. That didn't work out for us. Michael Harris, 0 for 3. Chadwick Tromp, 0 for 3, 0 for 2. And Orlando Arcia, 2 for 4. So Arcia, Ozuna, only 2 Braves to get a hit. Well, multiple hits. Yeah, for pretty much everybody that you picked on the Braves team, more than likely didn't do anything to help you win, unless you took their unders. Now, if you took their unders, then just disregard everything I just said because you made money yesterday. But for those of us who took some overs on the Braves, definitely did not get treated well yesterday. What other turds are we going to talk about today? Who do y'all have on your shit list aside from the Atlanta Braves? Anybody in the NBA, NHL, any esports turds you want to throw in the chat? Throw them in the chat. Throw them in the chat. What's going on, JR? Good morning to you. Looking through, what about Embiid coming back yesterday? Questionable, gets ruled in, plays over 30 minutes in his first game in over 2 months. 29 minutes, 37 PRA. If you took the over on that one, you came close. Took the under on that one, it hit for you. He played a lot more than I thought he was going to play. I did not see any sort of update in terms of how he was going to be played, used, and all that stuff. 24 points, 6 boards, 7 assists, 4 personal fouls, a little high for him. 6 turnovers, a little sloppy for him. We've seen this in the past when he returns from injury. He's really not. I mean, a lot of players aren't back their first game, so next game should be better. Hopefully he's healthy. Playoffs, much more fun when all the superstars are present. That team needs them. All right. No turds for today? Cool. Let's move on. Injury news looks a little something like this. So keep your eyes on the Boston Celtics. Jaylen Brown is once again questionable. You have Jalen Duren in, Nick Richards in, Cam Johnson probable, questionable, Cade Cunningham alongside Jaylen Brown, Turner, Bridges, that's Miles Turner, Miles Bridges, Brandon Miller, Grayson Allen, Grant Williams, Marcus Sasser, and Dennis Smith Jr. doubtful. Jeremy Grant remains doubtful. They just need to rule him out for the rest of the year already. Vasily Micic, Taj Gibson, and John Conchar, and then out. We do know Desmond Bane has already been ruled out. So Memphis, if I was the Grizzlies, I would just shut down Triple J and any other productive starter and just let your G Leaguers handle the rest of the games. It's kind of what they're doing already, but this season was lost a very long time ago for the Memphis Grizzlies. Cade Cunningham being out would open up a ton of value on the Pistons. This should be a good game between two just bad teams. The Hawks are not good. The Pistons are not good. A lot of scoring, very little defense. Question is, who's scoring for the Pistons if Cade Cunningham's out? Good news, Jalen Duren's in. Ivy, Fontecchio maybe. Let's see if some value opens up for Detroit. What's going on? Orbit, Image, Dude Love, what's going on? Jovic didn't see the floor in the fourth. Really? He was at 5 points at the half. Did he finish with 5? No way. 25 minutes and he ends with 5 points. Damn. That looked good going into the half. At 5, he needed 3 to get over. He had 7-point prop. That's tough, Orbit. Welcome in, by the way. Dude, love. Hartenstein was a dud. Running him back on Friday. What did he end with? 4-1-2. Yeah, I don't know if Mitchell Robinson being back, he only played 10 minutes. Mitchell Robinson only recorded a rebound. He didn't do anything. So it doesn't look like that hurt him, but maybe just having an extra body in there really throws that rotation off in the front court. He was 100% from the field, 2 for 2. I mean, it's weird. Miles McBride, DiVincenzo, Jalen Brunson, all giving you huge games. All three of those guys over 20 points. DiVincenzo with 31. He definitely took that game over. 51 fantasy points for him. Yeah, it's playoff teams. We got to start monitoring these playoff teams. I mean, there are only 5 games left in the regular season. 5 days left. Man, those playoff teams, I mean, we don't know what they're going to do. Coaches are going to mess with the rotations and definitely not tell anybody about it. So it's a great transition into MLB, to be honest with you, because right now the MLB is a lot more predictable. You do get those starting lineups well in advance, so you do have opportunity to create slips based off that, and they typically don't change. So thankful MLB is back. What's going on, Marcus? We doing NBA MLB props? Yeah, we will. We definitely will. All right. Death, turds, injuries. That's what we just covered in the stream. So that's what you missed. Death, turds, and injuries here on the stream. If you're joining the stream, welcome. Hit the like button on your way in. If you're new to the stream, let me know in the chat. Orbit, are you new to the stream? Are you new to the channel? If I've missed you in the past, my bad, but I don't recall seeing that name in the chat. Let me know. I'll make your question the first question we answer in the chat in terms of player props. All right, let's move on to some plays today. I got 3 plays to talk about, taking them from my Discord, from my providers, 3 of my providers who contribute in the morning, and my other 4 providers contribute in the afternoon. So taking 1 play from each of them, and we'll go over a play that I really like that I wrote up over in the free section of the Discord. 3-0 over the last 3 days with player write-ups. Since doing player write-ups, since transitioning into the premium format, we're 4-1 with our player write-ups. The only one we missed, Scoot Henderson. Took the under on his PRA or points. Outside of him, we've been knocking them out the park. So check out the free player write-up in the premium section of the Discord. As always, all of our research is done here on the channel by way of props.cash. Props.cash, 25% off your first month. Use that promo code Thanks25. Nice way to save some money. If you've never used props.cash before, if it's your first time seeing props.cash in person, or if you've never seen them before, I should say, then you're about to see it in real time as we use it here on the stream. So first time, we use it all the time here on the stream. So again, if you're newer to props.cash or you don't know what it is, stick around. We use it in real time. Also, working out a deal with props.cash right now that's exclusive to my Discord members, both freemium and premium. If you're in the Discord, this is exclusive to you, but I do want to talk about it here on the stream. Working out a deal for an annual plan, so a year plan over on props.cash, discounted off. So reaching out to my contact over on props.cash, I wanted to see what we could do for the Discord, and I honestly wasn't really expecting a whole lot. You know, sometimes companies don't want to work with you. They just want to stick to the same old plan. But I was very pleased that we were being offered a unique deal. So 25% off the annual plan on props.cash. So that would average out to $12.50 per month. So that's a bit of a markdown from the original price of $19.99 per month. If you use my promo code, that's 25% off your first month only. But the annual plan is taking 25% off the entire plan for the whole year. So just looking to throw that out there. It's not finalized, but if that's something that interests you, let me know in the chat. Your feedback is super important. That way I can get this information back over to the people at props.cash. If that sounds like a plan you'd be interested in, it is one payment. It is more money up front, yes. But if you plan on using props.cash for an extended period of time, it's probably a good plan for you because you're saving money in the long run. So throwing that out there, trying to work that deal out. Once it's finalized, it'll be exclusive to Discord members only, freemium and premium. Doesn't matter what part of the Discord you're in, as long as you're there. All right, let's move on. Talk about some plays from yesterday. Man, very disappointing. We got the DNP to scratch on Donovan Mitchell pretty early in the day, so I knew that one was going to be off the board. Kind of chalked a couple of my slips also. That kind of pissed me off, but never had a chance with Donovan Mitchell, unfortunately. Our two MLB plays, we just talked about how bad the Braves were yesterday, inclusive of Adam Duvall, who mustered up 1 hit and 2 strikeouts. Just not a good day for the entire Braves lineup. And Jose Caballero, this one was a really big disappointment, as he did score 9 fantasy points. He got hit by a pitch. He stole second, and he scored a run, and he ended up with 9 fantasy points. If you told me at the beginning of the day that Caballero was going to finish with 9 fantasy points, I would have been so sure that one of those points would have came from a hit, and it didn't. So just goes to show you how fucking weird baseball can be. There are many ways to score points in terms of fantasy points. A lot of ways don't even include you swinging the damn bat. So Caballero really surprised me with that one. So unfortunately, we go 0-2 with these plays. That is not the product that I want to present on the stream. So we'll bounce back. And these are my plays. I'm not putting the blame on anybody. These are my plays from yesterday. However, for today, 3 brand new plays, and these are not my plays. These are plays taken from the Discord from 3 of my providers. I like these very much. We're going to break these down over on props.cash. So if it's your first time seeing this slide, if it's your first time seeing this presentation, you got the player, you got the pick'em sites where you can find them. The logo next to those pick'em sites is the logo of my provider, and then you have the player prop, whether or not we like the over or under. So we're going to start off with Jalen Suggs. This is playable on Underdog and HOTSTREAK over 1.5. 3-pointers made. This is coming from Chino. Drew Holiday, playable on PrizePicks and HOTSTREAK over 4.5. And that actually is not, that should not say PRA. Over 4.5 assists. This is coming from Damian Blast, bro. If you can find Drew Holiday's PRA at 4.5, slam the over on that. That's my mistake. That's my bad. That should read 4.5 assists. And then D'Angelo Russell, playable on Underdog and HOTSTREAK. This is from Mookie, over 17.5 points. Let's go 3-0 with these plays. They're all in really good spots. We're going to take a look at these together over on props.cash. Before we head over to props.cash, let's quickly transition over to the PrizePicks dashboard. Let's just get this set up. And as we move throughout the stream, we'll start adding some plays to the board. and we'll start building out some player props we're going to take a look at together using props.cash. Now, I just talked about 3 plays that I like from my providers, but let me show you one play that I like personally that I did write up over in the Discord. I'm going right back over to Scoot. And I learned my lesson. I'm not going to take the under on any of his props today. I'm going to take the over on his turnovers. I learned my lesson not to take the unders on Scoot. Let's try the over this time. We're going to take the over. 4.5 turnovers for Scoot Henderson. I have a bevy of data that I want to share with you as to why this is a good play. But we're going to go with this one. This is my personal write-up. It's already in the Discord. As I mentioned earlier, 4-1 with our write-up so far since transitioning over into the premium Discord. So if you're tailing those, they're working out for you. If you paired yesterday's play of the day write-up, PJ Washington over 18.5 PRA, he crushes that with 25. You could have paired that with any of those tacos. You could have paired it with all 3 of the damn tacos and made yourself $225 in winnings off those 3 if you just played them in a 2-pick power at $25 each. All right. So Scoot Henderson, we're going to talk about him over on props.cash. Now, when you look for Jalen Suggs on PrizePicks, you're not going to find that 1.5 3-pointers made prop. It's only on Underdog. But I'm going to pull up his 3-pointers made demon line just so we have something to look at when we head over to props.cash. Also, D'Angelo Russell, you're not going to find that 17.5 points prop on PrizePicks either. You're only going to find his demon and goblin. Let's pull up his demon because we like the over on the 17.5. He has to get you 15 to get you 17, right? So we can look at this one. And then the last play out of that group, Drew Holiday at 4.5 assists, not 4.5 PRA, and that shit got taken off the board. Doesn't surprise me. Does not surprise me. As I mentioned every day, by the time we get to the live stream, a lot of the plays that I write up that I put in the cheat sheet in the Discord, not a lot of them, a few of them are removed. By the time we do live stream, those plays have been on the board for 8-9 hours. I've been on them for about 4.5 hours because I do sleep. So it's no surprise when these plays get taken off the board. Drew Holiday is available on Underdog, 4.5 assists. They are nerfing your payout at a 0.85. So if you want to play it, you can play it. It's not a full payout. I mean, you might as well just play his 3.5 on PrizePicks for about the same payout. But we're going to look at these 3. I'm going to show you why I like these originally. And then we're going to move on to some of your questions, no doubt. What's going on, Seaver? Ryan, what's up? Orbit, had to put you on pause. I'm a little behind. I've been in here a few times, rather chat. Gotcha. Welcome in. Well, welcome back. Ryan says, Trey Murphy, rebound till the wheels fall off. Yeah. I looked at that this morning, and then I saw that they were playing the Magic, and I was like, oh, damn. It is no longer a secret. Almost 24,000 people are playing the over on this one. I'm assuming they're playing the over on this one. I don't mind it. I haven't even looked at the odds or anything. Let's do that, though. Let's put that on the sheet, and let's go. All right. We got 5 player props to kick things off. We're going to head over to props.cash. Once again, if you are new to props.cash, if you've never seen props.cash, you're about to see it. Very soon, we'll have 2 discounts for you. One monthly discount, get you 25% off your first month, or a discount on the yearly plan, 25% off your yearly plan, which reduces your monthly to $12.50. It's a pretty good deal. I might ask him if that applies to me. I might just do that one. Let's do it. Let's share the screen. Let's talk about props.cash. What's going on, Mike? Thank you for being here. All right. I want to show you this Scoot Henderson play first. All right, so Scoot Henderson over turnovers. Let me show you why I like this one. There's a bit of information that I did not find on props.cash that I did go over to NBAstats.com to check out just to confirm and just to add a little bit of little sprinkle of oomph to the write-up. So let's look at what we can find out over on props.cash. All right, so number one, we look at Scoot Henderson's turnovers over the last 10 games. We see this huge drastic shift in turnovers from the first 5 games of this 10-game log to the last 5 games of this 10-game log. And it's not a coincidence that we're also seeing a minutes increase and a usage increase for Scoot Henderson in those 5 games. So looking at the first thing that pops out to me is just the amount of turnovers. We're seeing double, triple the amount of turnovers in these last 5 games. Now, when we took the over or under on his points PRA the last time we talked about him, we made mention that the Portland Trailblazers are pretty much out of the race of anything. They're done. They're one of the worst teams in the league. And we would think that hurts the upside for a lot of these players. But Chauncey Billups is running his players out there. He's emptying the bench and he's emptying the tanks on a lot of his young guns, no matter what the deficit is in these games. So a lot of these guys are getting a ton of minutes. Delano Banton's getting a ton of minutes. Scoot seeing a ton of minutes. Just names you're not used to seeing are getting a ton of minutes. They're seeing what they have in Portland. They're going to let these guys run out there and play basketball no matter what the score. Probably more of like a audition, I would say, for next season. So when we look at this, let's scroll on down. Let me show you his minutes as well. So looking at his minutes over his last 10 games, he's averaging 31.1 minutes. Now on the year, he's averaging 27.6. That's up almost 5 minutes from what we were seeing across the season. His last 5 games, however, 32 minutes. So we're seeing a huge shift in minutes played in the last 5 games versus the first 10 games or the first 5 games of that 10-game log. Potential assists also go up. So potential assists are super important. These are the assist opportunities that somebody has. He's seeing 13 potential assists. Now, the great thing about that is in order to complete an assist, you have to pass. When you pass and your usage rate is high, turnovers are also high. So all this correlates. It's not a shock that we see his turnovers go up, but his usage also going up. He's averaging 33% usage rate in his last 5 games. Huge usage. Portland also ranks top 3 in the league in turnovers per game, averaging 15. Now over the last 3 games, 18 turnovers in the last 3 games. Scoot Henderson is averaging 6 turnovers per game in the last 3 games. That's 33% of the entire team's turnovers from him. I like the over on this one. I hope he goes out there and he balls out and he presses and he's aggressive, because the turnovers will happen. So all that goes into me liking the over on his turnovers. This one stood out to me, and that's why I wrote it up as one of my plays for today. Let's talk about D'Angelo Russell over his 17.5 points. Now, this one is only available on Underdog and HOTSTREAK. If you guys don't play on HOTSTREAK right now, check it out. They have all the same lines as PrizePicks, better lines. You can alternate the lines. You can bring them down. You can bring them up. You can adjust them. So you can make them whatever you want. But sometimes when these lines get pulled off PrizePicks, they're still up on HOTSTREAK. So it's nice to have an alternate pick'em site for days like that. All right. So D'Angelo Russell over his last 5 games, averaging 20 points, 80% hit rate, averaging 18 points in his last 10 games, 60% hit rate. Numbers against Washington, 1 game this season, 22 points. Projections. Projections for D'Angelo Russell, 19 points today. So projections look good. The game logs look good. The matchup is a good matchup. In terms of his odds, you're seeing pretty fair odds across the market. FanDuel likes the over. DraftKings, Caesars, BetMGM. The only book that doesn't like the over, but they also don't really like the under. They're kind of split. It's PointsBet. So 4 out of these 5 books likes the over on this point prop. We're checking all the boxes here. Positive odds, positive projection, positive matchup, and positive game logs for D'Angelo Russell. This one looks good for the over at 17.5 points. All right, let's talk about Jrue Holiday assist. Again, playable on Underdog, playable on HOTSTREAK, not playable on PrizePicks. But if you like his assist line and you don't mind taking a pay cut, look to his Goblin assist on PrizePicks at 3.5. That's what you have. Projected for 4.7, so he's projected for right at 5. When we take a look at his odds at 4.5, PointsBet likes it, BetMGM, Caesars, DraftKings, and FanDuel. So 4 out of the 5 books are giving you minus 130 to go over at minimum, and then FanDuel is the only one that's giving you under 130. One game this year against the OKC Thunder, he goes over with 7. Last 10 games, Holiday brings in a 60% hit rate, as well as in his last 5 games, averaging 5 assists across the board. He's averaging 5 assists on the year. If he just does what he does, we should get the over on this one. The matchup with OKC, it's not the best matchup, but they do allow a fair amount of assists per game and positive history against this team. So we're getting a good amount of data here that supports the over for Jrue Holiday's assist. Let's look at Jalen Suggs' 3-point made prop at 1.5 on HOTSTREAK, 1.5 on Underdog, but you are getting a pay decrease on Underdog. They're nerfing it at a 0.85. And PrizePicks doesn't even have it up at 1.5. So let's take a look at this. Projected for 2, odds in favor of the over, heavily in favor of the over on every single one of these books. 3 straight games of 2+, 3 out of his last 5 for a 60% hit rate. 8 out of his last 10, 80% hit rate. He's averaging 2.3 in those games. On the year, he's averaging 2.1 3-pointers made. So again, if he just meets his season average, he goes over this line. It's a good line. History against New Orleans, we could take a look at that. 2 games last season, doesn't get it done. But 1 game about 10 days ago, he ends with 3. Positive history, good game logs, really good odds, and good projections for these 3. We like them all. Same game. Let's take a look at Trey Murphy's rebound prop. This has not been a sweat at all when you play his rebound prop. So games against Orlando, he has 1 game this season against Orlando. He only got you 3. And that's actually the last time he did not get the over. So 90% hit rate in his last 10, 100% hit rate in his last 5. Odds, let's check those out. In favor of the over on FanDuel, DraftKings, Caesars, BetMGM, and PointsBet. There is some juice to the under, so this is not as strong of odds because you are getting minus 111, minus 110 to the under, but you're still getting minus 120 and up across all these books. It's a tough matchup. It's a gross matchup. He needs 6 rebounds to get the over. This is one of those situations we've found ourselves in these situations before. Zion assist, Paulo Banchero assist. I don't even know who else. We could just throw a bunch of, when a player is just on one and they are just rolling, you just finally have to just go with it and say, I'm going to keep playing it until the wheels fall off. The great thing about this is the matchup is what's keeping this number down. Based off these numbers, his rebound prop should be 6.5 because his matchup is tough. It's suppressing his line. It's a little softer, so you can jump on that one and just hopefully the wheels don't fall off today. But this is still a good play. Good odds, great game logs, terrible matchup, but you gotta roll with it if you are a believer in his rebound upside. All right, we just talked about Scoot, Jalen Suggs, D'Angelo Russell, Drew Holiday, and Trey Murphy all in that same round. We like the over turnovers. Honestly, I don't like the over on 2.5 3-pointers made for Jalen Suggs. He was simply up there as just a bookmark, so I'm going to remove that. I don't want to mislead anybody. D'Angelo Russell's points at the Goblin line, that to me is an easy over. If we like the over on 17.5. Drew Holiday, over 3.5 assists. The only reason these are up there is because PrizePicks doesn't have the normal line. Again, both of these playable on Underdog and HOTSTREAK. Trey Murphy, you'll roll with it till the wheels fall off. 5.5 rebounds, tough matchup, but he's got a lot of other data that we like to support. So let's screenshot this. And I'll throw these over in the Discord. And we move on. Clearing out the board. And let's move on. What player props do y'all want to talk about? What questions do y'all have? Who is on your list today? Throw them in the chat. Let's start digging up some plays. A lot of people are going to be on Portland today because of what we just talked about, how much usage these guys are getting, how many minutes they're playing. It's like summer league basketball right now. There's a guy on the Portland Trailblazers who I forgot his name. Rayan. There he is, Rayan Rupert. Rayan Rupert over his 11.5 points and rebounds. I do want to take a look at that one. Or his points, either or. This reminds me of the Bryce Sensabaugh play we talked about yesterday, who cashed everything. Cashed his points, cashed his rebounds, cashed his PRA, cashed a lot of stuff. So Bryce Sensabaugh finds himself in a spot where he is getting a ton of usage because Markkanen and John Collins are ruled out. Similar situations to the Blazers where a lot of guys are missing. A lot of these young dudes get to step up and play big minutes. In the lab now late night last night. All right, let's look up this Rupert. What a funny ass name. Rayan Rupert. Also, I want to check something out real quick. Also, we can definitely take a look at the Odd Shopper Pick'em table today. We can do that right now, actually, just to check out some of this early value that's on the board. We'll take a look at some of the expert picks. We'll take a look at the Pick'ems table. If you need additional plays, if you just need to see where a lot of plays are and how they're lining up, hopefully this helps you out. We can only do so much research ourselves. Every once in a while, we do need a nudge from another resource. So taking a look at the Odd Shopper experts picks, Oliver Dunn has a home run prop on FanDuel plus 750. I don't even know who that guy is. I've never heard of him. Is he a rookie? Austin Wells, home run prop plus 800 on FanDuel. Blaze Alexander over 0.5 home runs. A lot of home run props on FanDuel. You got Nathan Eovaldi over 5.5 strikeouts. That's playable on FanDuel. We can even see if it's on PrizePicks, and we can dig into that one since that one is on the list. There's Drew Holiday, but that's the under on his points. Kevin Kiermaier, there's another home run prop. A lot of home run props today. Chris Paddock under his strikeouts of 4.5. I mean, there are a lot of plays on this experts table, and this is just the experts table. 8 and over 34.5 points and rebounds. I want to see if the Eovaldi play is up on PrizePicks. It is. Perfect. Let's look at that one too. Let's look at that one. I like this one. Carlos Rodon under his 5.5 strikeouts. Carlos Rodon is it's such a good play that it's not even on PrizePicks because it's getting heavy odds for the under. It's too good of a play, I suppose, that PrizePicks doesn't want you to play it. So if you want to play it, let's see where we can find it. Carlos Rodon is on underdog. If you want to take the under on his strikeouts at 5.5, it is a pay decrease to 0.9. If you want to take the over on it, 1.05. So you are getting a slight payout boost if you want to take the over on it. But I want to look at this one. So let's just throw his Goblin strikeout prop on the board, and when we come back to PrizePicks, we'll look at a few of those. We can also take a look at the PrizePicks optimizer. So PrizePicks optimizer is just going to show you the plays. There is no gut feeling. There is no bias here. It's just the plays that are grading out the best, that have the highest percentage to win, long-term probability over the course of the process that you play these are more likely to go over. Do they always go over? No. Just like nothing always goes over. But these are grading out well. If you don't like some of these plays, you can use them as a research tool to help you find different plays or pivot. But right now, the first play that you see is Chris Murray under 12.5 assists and points. Halliburton under 10.5 assists. So these plays don't take any of like, oh no, he's on one, he's on an 8-game streak. These plays don't care about any of this. Is just all data. So they're just extracting all the subjective shit, all the bias shit. And that's where you come in and you say, you know what, I'll stay away from that one just because I don't really want to mess with that guy. Like Halliburton, he's starting to heat up. Do you want to take the under on his assist? You don't have to. You can just stay away from it if you want. So there are a lot more MLB plays on the board today. A lot more early in the day, I should say. Yesterday was a bit of a struggle to find good MLB value. Not until the afternoon that I see a lot that I liked. You can also check out Underdog. So a lot of the pick'em sites are on this optimizer. So you can actually filter out by pick'em sites. And you can even generate a slip. If you don't want to do research, if you don't want to, or if you just don't have the time to do research, generate a slip. All 5 of these plays on the Underdog, you throw them in a slip, grading out to a 14% plus EV. Expected win rate 5% on this slip. So it's grading out pretty well. Kuzma under rebounds, LeBron under rebounds, Kristaps under points, Halliburton under 10.5 assists, and Grayson Allen under 12.5 points. If you don't like one of these plays, you can simply remove it and add another play. So it's pretty flexible. Very flexible. All right. So I have a few plays that I added here. Ryan Rupert, Evaldi over strikeouts. And I want to take a look at this Carlos Rodon strikeout prop at 5.5 on underdog. PrizePicks is not giving that to you at 5.5. I want to check out HOTSTREAK. Like I mentioned earlier, when some of these plays aren't available on PrizePicks, you can definitely check out HOTSTREAK. More times than not, it will be there. So Carlos Rodon, 5.5 pitcher strikeouts on HOTSTREAK, under, giving you a 1.73 payout. Taking the over gives you a 1.91. That's a pretty good payout for an under. 1.73. So it is playable on HOTSTREAK. We're going to take a look at this on props.cash. All right. Siakam over rebounds. Doo-dooed last time. But if game's competitive, I like the over. He did poo-poo it last time. Let's put him on the board. Siakam over rebounds. It's already been bumped up. Did you see it at 7.5, or did you see it at 8? Maybe it. I don't think it opened at 8. Maybe it did. All right, we got 5 player props on the board. Let's head over to props.cash and we'll start breaking these down. I want to start off with the MLB plays because we have fewer of those and we'll knock those out. So starting off with a couple of strikeout props. We got Evaldi and we have Rodon. So we like the Evaldi strikeout prop. It's at 5.5. You saw it on the experts picks page. A couple of those experts liked it to go over his last. Let's look at his last 5 because we can't look at the last 10. That bleeds into last season. So just one game this year against the Cubs, he notched 3 strikeouts. Not the biggest sample size, so it doesn't really help us to look at that. We can't look at his head-to-head games versus the Cubs. Last season, he had 3 games versus Chicago. He goes over in 2 of those games. He's only projected for 5 strikeouts today, but let's take a look at the odds and let's see if they line up. So on Caesars, the over is liked. DraftKings as well, but these two are not giving you the highest odds. PointsBet is split. BetMGM is liking the over a bit more, but FanDuel is marrying the over at -150. So all in all, you're getting pretty fair odds across the market on this one. Tampa Bay last year ranked 14th in the MLB in Ks per game. Uvalde last season 0.92 Ks per inning. Swing and miss rate 11.5%. How does he fare against the current players on this, or excuse me, how does he fare against the current players on this team? Brandon Lau, 6 Ks for Rosarena. A few of these guys have never faced Uvalde before, but you do have quite a few Ks in there. Uvalde would need to pitch, 5.5, 6 innings in order for him to have a chance. He's basically a 1 K per inning guy at 0.92. So 5 2/3, 5 1/3, maybe even 6 innings for him. I think he would need to get that done. The game, 3 games against Tampa last season, That's 6 innings. That's 6 1/3. That's 6 2/3. So he is averaging well over 6 innings against the Rays. His last game against Chicago, despite the low strikeout numbers, he was in for 6 innings. So it's like the minutes played in the NBA. You know, you got to be on the floor to score. You got to be on the pitcher's mound to strike people out. He's out there. Let's take a look at Rodon strikeout prop. I don't know what the Yankees were expecting out of this guy. Well, obviously they were expecting vintage Rodon when they signed him. He just has not been that guy. Now he has that upside. He has it. He's just not displaying it. You know, looking at his games last season, you can see it. He has it. He has it in him. 10 strikeout potential, 9, 7. But a lot of these games he's under. He's getting blown up too. It's not like he's just going out there and just not striking people out. He's getting hit. Now his matchup against Arizona last season, no games last season. Well, actually, yes, games last season. But this can't all be last season. Was it? No. Yeah? No. Maybe the year before. That's last season. Okay. It does feel like he's lost a bit of zip. He's projected for 4.5 Ks. Basically, if you want to round that up to 5, it's so close to the line that you could just say it's 4 or 5. It's still under 5.5. Odds do not like this, okay? BetMGM, Caesars, PointsBet, DraftKings, and FanDuel. Well, FanDuel does slightly give you juice to the over. Pinnacle. Now, Pinnacle is a good book. You don't always see Pinnacle presented, but when it is presented, you do pay attention to their lines. It is a very highly regarded sports book. So if they're liking the under at -148, it's something to pay attention to. BVP, if you want to take a look at the current strikeouts that are on this team versus Rodon, 4 strikeouts for Marte in 18 plate appearances, 4 for Christian Walker in 14 plate appearances. There's a lot of power in this lineup and a lot of power at the top of the lineup. If Rodon has trouble getting out of that top 5, 6 in this lineup, he may not even see 4 innings. If he gets hit, he may not even last. Like, look, 13 innings against Houston, 11. This is very possible. It is very possible for him to give up 5 earned runs, 4 earned runs, and just get pulled real fast. Like, I'm sure that relievers in the bullpen, like right after the 3rd batter, they're already warming people up because I just feel like he has a pretty short leash coming into this season. But the under 5.5 makes sense. Play it on HOTSTREAK if you can't find it anywhere else. All right, let's take a look at the Siakam play over his rebound prop. Now that was another one of those ride and so the wheels fall off plays. Siakam was rebounding out of his mind, and he was on a roll. Now, even when he's not hitting his line, he's very close to it. Outside of these 2 games against Brooklyn and LA, hooked it over. Numbers against Indiana. This season, he has 3 games, 2 out of 3 he's gone over. Holy shit, Stephon Diggs just got traded to the Houston Texans. Oh, damn. I wonder who Houston gave up for him. Well, hello, CJ Stroud. There's no news. Analysis coming soon. Dude, that's nice. He's not in his prime anymore, but I mean, that's definitely a compliment to Nico Brown and Tank Dell. All right, Siakam over rebounds. 2 of his last 3 games. Projected for 7.5 rebounds today. So again, you can round that up if you want to 8. It's just too close to the line, so it's just maybe closer to 7 than it is to 8. But we can pay attention to the odds today. Now his rebounds are sitting at 8. All right, so unfortunately there is no book that has it at 8, so the odds represented here are not going to be accurate. But at 8.5, if this one were to get bumped up to 8.5, you see the under heavily represented across all 5 books. So when you see these numbers, this is telling you that his projection is closer to 8 than it is to 9. To go under 8.5, it's 8 or lower. So I think 8, the hook might be in play on this one. He does need that one extra rebound to get over the hook. If you feel like he has that in them, or if this game stays closer and it's not an ass whooping, then he should benefit from a few extra minutes on the court. I mean, he played 24 minutes last game. If he gets you anywhere near 30, I would like to believe that he does have one extra rebound in him to get you 9. But you are asking for the game to take a certain direction, and we just don't have control of that. But at 8, it's a push. You know, at the worst, you would think it's a push, so you can't throw it in your slip. At 8.5, I don't know if I'd be too fast to play that one. Let's look up Ryan Rupert's funny name having ass. So points and rebounds. Now, his projections are terrible, but listen, these projections are based off a lot of things that aren't relevant today. What he's done for the course of the year doesn't matter. What he did 30 games ago, 20 games ago, doesn't matter. This is a new Portland team with a new direction and just a different agenda. They're playing these guys that you've never heard of. So I wouldn't pay too close attention to these projections for a guy like him. We can look at Charlotte's defense, who has been a super generous defense over the course of the year, ranking bottom of the league in pretty much every category. Defense is non-existent in Charlotte. When we look at Rupert's last 10 games, look, there's a huge difference in the first 5 of these to the last 5. Points and rebounds was another one that I was looking at 11.5. Now, his points and rebounds look very good because 3 out of the last 5 games, he has gone over this. So even when he's not going over points, he's doing enough on the glass to get you the over on the PR. Outside of those 2 games, he's good for 4+ rebounds. So if you want to take the over on his rebound prop at 3.5, if you can find it at 3.5, that looks like a solid play. If you're weary about his points, man, he's not scoring a lot of points. Maybe you play his points and rebounds, or maybe you just play his rebounds. But last 5 games, even within the 5 games, you're seeing this minutes shift from 16 to 23 to basically 40, back down to 26, back up to 30. I think these 2 games are probably more representative of what you'll see for the rest of the year. His last 10 games, huge difference. Look at this shit. So again, this is a great example of a guy who's going to get a ton of playing time, a ton of usage for him. If you don't believe in that, then you just stay away from this prop. But if you want to attack it, these are super soft lines. It's a good opportunity to attack. At 7.5 points, Rupert is favored on DraftKings to go over, Caesars to go over, BetMGM to go over, PointsBet to go over. FanDuel is the only one that's hating on him a little bit, and that's okay. Points and rebounds for Rupert. FanDuel, or excuse me, PointsBet hates it at 12.5. Lucky for us, it's 11.5. Over on FanDuel, over on DraftKings, over on Caesars, over on BetMGM. It's a good spot. If you want to take advantage of it, it's a super low line. It's not a household name. but it's a good play. So Rupert over 11.5 rebounds and points. Uvalde over pitcher strikeouts. Rodon, we like the under on his 5.5. If you think he lands right at 5 but not 6, then you like the over on his Goblin. I'm not touching that shit. I'll just take the under where I can find it. And then Siakam over 8.5 rebounds. Fingers crossed this one doesn't blow out. And Siakam plays more than 24 minutes. If he gets you his normal 30, 29, 30, 28 minutes even, I think there's a very good chance he goes over 8. And we'll screenshot these. And we'll throw them in a Discord. Boom. All right, let's see. Not sure if it got bumped, but if Brooklyn has any pride left at home, no shit, dude. Oh man. There are very few home chants that are better than the Brooklyn chant. Like when Brooklyn's on it, like when they were winning games and they were relevant, and when the whole crowd starts shouting Brooklyn, it gives you like goosebumps. There's like very few home chants that have that sort of impact. Yeah. Those fans are not happy this season at all. Let's take a look at DeJounte Murray over points for Seaver. 25.5. What's going on, Divine? Good morning, man. Oh, is that what happened to Turner? He messed his hand up. Is he on the injury report? He's on. Yeah, he's questionable. So if Turner's out, you would think that opens up opportunity for Siakam, right? It definitely opens up opportunity for Jalen Smith. All right, let's look at DeAndre Ayton rebounds versus the Charlotte Hornets. 12.5 rebounds is his line. Oh, we talked about turds earlier today, and I totally forgot how bad of a game point wise Steph Curry had. He finished with 37 fantasy points thanks to the 3 blocks and steals. 5 for 18 from the field and only 13 points. Yeah, they won the game. They didn't blow the Mavs out. That was Curry's definitely these last few games. We've definitely have seen a different version of Curry. All right, let's got Ayton, we got Murray. Let's take Siakam out. We already talked about these plays. Oh, Smith caught a tech versus Schroeder last game. May try to limit his play to keep down. Oh, interesting. What's going on, Timothy? Smith, Maribel. Durant points. Let's throw Cade Cunningham's points in there as well for Divine. See, I thought for sure the Pistons would start limiting minutes for their guys, but Cade Cunningham has not been impacted by anything. His biggest issue is he just can't stay healthy throughout the course of a season. But man, when he's in, I know the last game was against Memphis. They lost. It's not like they blew him out. He played 34 minutes. That doesn't sound like his minutes are, being all that limited. So Cade's definitely worth the look. He's not even getting that much. He's not even getting that much play. 4.5 thousand people is not a lot. When you look at some of these other popular plays in the 30,000s, That's a very, very under the radar type of play. People are not really looking at him today. All right. Merrill Kelly K's. All right. Let's throw an MLB play in there. 5.5. Nice. 28 people on the stream. Appreciate y'all being here. Thank y'all so much. Hit the like button on your way in. I'll recap the plays we talked about earlier today in terms of plays from the Discord and where you can find those plays. For those of y'all who are just joining the stream or just missed the early part of the stream, we'll go over those shortly. All right, we got Cade in there. We got Kelly strikeouts in there. What's going on? Joseph Ayton, 34.5 PRA under. 34.5. Did it drop? No way. It didn't drop that much. It dropped 36. It was at 37.5. It dropped. Yeah, holy shit. I tell you what, we got Ayton's rebounds up there. We'll take a look at his PRA also, Joseph, at the same time. Cade shows up against Boston. I don't know. Boston pissed him off or something. Or maybe he has a girlfriend there or some shit. I don't know, man. But you would think. But there are those teams that players just get up for. He definitely plays them well. All right. We got 4 players on the board. Let's throw Porzingis up there. I played the under on Porzingis' points last game, even with Jaylen Brown out. This one got bumped down to 20. It was at 20.5. What do you like it for? Who asked about it? Timothy, what do you like it for? Over, under? More or less? I'm going to put more for now. Let's throw Capella in there. Because we're talking about Murray. Over 23.5 PRA. I think those two correlate. All right, so we got Murray over points, Ayton over rebounds, Cade over points, Merrill Kelly over. We got all overs. Correct me if I'm wrong in terms of more or less, but we're going to make a case for it. Let's head over to props.cash. Let's knock these out. All right, let's start with DeAndre Ayton. We're going to take a look at his rebounds and then his PRA. Now, his rebounds are projected for 10.16. The line is 12.5. So he is projected to go under this line. If you think that's a mistake, we're gonna figure this out. So minus 125 to go under on FanDuel, minus 102 to go over. Let's zoom out. Let's look at his last 15 because he was on this nice run of huge rebounding numbers. And his lowest number, I mean, 4 is a bad game, but 10 is not a low number. It just, in comparison to the 17s and 19s, yeah, it's low. Over the last 3 games, though, he's really hit a snag. We take a look at some of the teams he's played. Big front court. Miami's just tough. Orlando, big front court. Damn near got against Orlando, but these are some tough matches. So this game against Charlotte, not the scariest matchup at all. Gone over in 1 game this season with 19. Saying they're not scary is an understatement. Okay, they're bottom of the league in a lot of these categories in terms of defense and what they're allowing. third most rebounds in the league given up by the Hornets. We can take a look at these odds. PointsBet likes it as a split. BetMGM likes the over. Caesar split. A lot of these numbers are split. We're not seeing a whole lot of love to the over for this one. Something has to give here. His minutes are not bad. Let's look at his last 5 games. 26, 25 minutes in those 2 games. It's possible foul trouble played a part in those. No, they did not. So no foul trouble. Actually, no real foul trouble for Ayton in his last 5 games. 4 is not that high for a center, especially a guy like Ayton who does foul. He's been doing a good job of keeping his fouls low, but maybe just ass whoopings here. I don't see them getting their ass whooped by the Hornets today. I don't really see anybody whooping anybody's ass. Hopefully it's a fun game where like you have 2 bad teams playing and they're just scoring a lot of points like the Hawks and Pistons. But yeah, if you like the over on this one, you do have a lot of data to support it. You are missing the odds in favor of the over. You're not seeing that, but you are seeing positive history against the Hornets. You are seeing positive 10-game logs. Less than positive 5-game logs. And the projections just aren't there. Yeah, this one's sticky. But when in doubt, you look at the odds. Because you're seeing the odds across the market on 5 different books. And you do have BetMGM that likes the over. And just because a book is split, it could be worse. They could like the under more. So at least you're not seeing that. That one's sticky. I can't really figure out why you're not getting better odds on DeAndre Ayton, unless he's projected to just not play a lot of minutes tonight. I don't know. I have no idea. Okay. Let's go to Atlanta. Let's look up Murray. Let's look up Capella. Let's start with Murray's points. Sitting at 25.5. He's projected for 25.8. You round that up to 26. Is it 25 or 24? 25. Now at 25 on FanDuel, you're seeing the under represented minus 120. At 24.5, this was a much better play for the over, but let's look at it at 25.5. Last 5 games, 2 out of his last 5 games. Last 10 games, 5 out of his last 10. Head-to-head games with the Hornets, 2 games. 1 up, 1 down. The last 10 games were all without, basically his last 15 games have been without Trae Young. So we don't even have to filter without Trae Young. These are all no Trae Young games. The head-to-head matchups, it's possible Trae Young played in this game, which is even better. He did that with Trae Young. So 1-1 versus Detroit. 3 over his last 5 games. He's gone over this. So we got good projections. We got good history versus the team. The 5-10 game logs, not the best. Honestly, 50% hit rate is not a super high hit rate. It's not terrible. He's also doing a lot of things. He's not just scoring. He's doing everything. So even in games where he's just scoring 17 or 18 points, he's still flirting with triple doubles, and he's definitely getting you close to double doubles. You know, so it's not like he's just not scoring points. But against the Detroit Pistons, this matchup offers huge upside. Tons of points given per game, 119 per. I honestly never know what to do with DeJounte Murray. Like, I always feel like I pick him on days where his lines are too high. But if you are gonna play him, this is a great matchup to play. The competition is not there. Capella, on the other hand, let's take a look at Clint Capella's PRA sitting at 23.5. He's projected for 24, so good projections. Similar game logs to Murray. So 50% hit rate in his last 5 or last 10, 60 in his last 5. I swear to God, I clicked on PRA. Let's try that again. Last 10, 70% hit rate. There you go. 80% hit rate in his last 5. All right. Now his numbers against the Pistons this season, he has 2 games played, 1 up, 1 down. Duran's in. In terms of players out, Stewart's out for the year. Where's Wiseman? Is Wiseman out? Gibson's game time decision. I mean, you do have a decent sized front court in Detroit, but he's done it before. The matchup is there. The game logs are there. The projections are there. And then the odds at 23.5 favor the over on Caesars and DraftKings, but at 24.5, you're not seeing the best odds. So play it at 23.5 while you can. It looks like this one will be bumped up at some point to 24 or 24.5. All right, let's look at Porzingis' points. So we like the over or under on his points, and then we'll look at actually no. Let's go back because we got to look at Cade Cunningham's points. I almost forgot. So Cade Cunningham projected for 26.7 points. At 24 points, the over is favored on DraftKings and Caesars. And then the rest of these books have it at 25. 3 straight games of 30 plus. 4 out of his last 10. Obviously, his last 5 look way better than his last 10. The matchup is there. We talked about the matchup being between 2 teams who don't play a ton of defense. Numbers against the Hawks. 3 out of 4 games, 2 games this year, 1 up, 1 down. We're seeing that for everybody. 1 up and 1 down for all these players against the team, or the other team. Play it while you can at 24. It's going to bump up to 25 at some point. This is a stackable game. You can create a slip of 6 players from this game and just hope for a shootout and a ton of points and just take all overs. You got enough information here. You have enough data points that support the overs, and they all correlate. So you're building a very well correlated stack if you want to go that route. It should be a pretty high scoring game, you would think, between 2 teams that don't play defense. All right. Who's left? Porzingis. We'll talk about Porzingis' points. All right. So 20.5. Wow. 19.5. If this shit got bumped down to 19.5, that's a completely different story. It's 20.5 on PrizePicks. So let's pick the right line. Actually, no, it's 20. So let's look at it at 19.5. And here's why. Because at 19.5, he needs 20 to go over. At 20, he needs 21. But at 20, he can still get you 20 and not lose. So I think this is going to be the closest line, the fairest line to look at, to compare. Over his last 3 games versus OKC, 1 game this season, 34 points. Last 10, he's gotten you 20 or more in 6 games. And his last 5, he's only gone over this in 2 games. Projected for, I don't know, you want to round that up to 20, you can. It is in the green, but not by much. And at 19.5, you're getting 2 books that have it at 19.5. Positive odds on PointsBet, split odds on FanDuel. It's possible. Didn't Jaylen Brown sit last game? If JB sits this game, you're looking at the last 5 games played without Jaylen Brown. Porzingis is averaging 22 points in his last 10 games played without Jaylen Brown. No, that doesn't make any sense because there's only 5 games from this season. So last 5 games, over in 3, averaging 22 points. If you can find this at 19.5, that is your best line to take the over on. You can still play the over at 20. It's a super low line for him. He got you 20 last game, but you need him to get you 21 for the over. All right. Last play in this block of plays. Let's take a look at Miro Kelly's strikeout prop, sitting at 5.5. Where are you? There you go. All right, so we're going to have to look at his last 5 games. 1 game this year. That's it. That's all we got to go on. That's your sample size. If you want to look at the last 5 games, I mean, these are playoff games. These are championship games. 1 game against the Rockies, he struck out 8. Now his numbers against the Yankees, 1 game last year, he hooked it at 5. Odds to go over, he's projected for 6, so that's positive. Slight under on FanDuel, slight over on DraftKings, over on BetMGM. Caesars likes the over. PointsBet likes the over. Pinnacle is a little on the under at 121 compared to the 119. You're not really getting overwhelming odds to either side here. Yankees do strike out a bit. I mean, they got some strikeouts in that lineup for sure. Also have a shit ton of power too. So Miro Kelly's not a pitcher to let shit get out of hand. So it's possible he can control this game. In terms of batters faced that are currently in this lineup, didn't even know Trent Grisham was on the Yankees. For some reason, I thought he was still with the Pods. 9 Ks for Trent, 1 for Soto. Yeah, you're not really going to get a lot of strikeouts from Soto. 2 for Rizzo, 2 for John Birdie. Games at home are a big deal also in the MLB. I think the home games in the MLB have like that split, that home away split has more of an impact in the MLB than you'll see in the NBA. Last 5 games at home, that was a home game. These are regular season games. 12-12. Yeah. It's a good play. I wish we were getting better odds, stronger odds, but not every single play is going to give you -130 to the over. So you'll have to make a decision based off what you see here, based off the matchup, if you got enough there to get you 6. Projections like it, so he's in a good spot, especially at home. All right, so I mean, you can you can stack this Atlanta game if you want. There's no shortage of value here, and there shouldn't be any shortage of points. I mean, if you let's take Porzingis out, let's take Kelly out, let's take Ayton out, And right here you have Murray over, Cade over, Capella over. Hunter over PRA. Whatever play you want to play with Bogdan. Is Cade Cunningham's literally the only piston on the board? Maybe you wait. Maybe you want to wait until there are more pistons on the board. Unless you just want to roll with a 5-hawk, 1 piston stack. But you definitely will have enough pieces in there to build out a game stack. Cade Cunningham over RA. Cade Cunningham over RA. We'll look at that real quick. It's projected for 12.88 rebounds and assists. So 13 rebounds and assists for Cade Cunningham. That's his projection. Over on FanDuel, like heavily favored to go over, but Caesars likes it not as much, but still little juice to the under there. BetMGM likes it to go under. DraftKings likes it to go under. PointsBet is split. So FanDuel and Caesars are your only 2 books that like the over. It just feels like nobody has an idea what to really do with this. You're not really seeing any sort of consistency with these odds. So you have favorable projections, a couple of books that like the over. You do have very positive game logs, both 5 and 10 games. And then you have a perfect game log versus the Hawks. 2 games this year, he's averaging 13.5. Doesn't get much better than that. You can fire that shit up if you want to. If we know he's going to get 30 plus minutes, like down the stretch as the season comes to a close, Cade Cunningham is not expected to see a drop off in minutes. I mean, he has missed a lot of time this season. There is no load management for him. So he might be trying to get as many reps in as possible before the season ends. If he's going to give you 34 or over, I think a lot of his props are in play. And if we know that he's going to get those minutes, then I think a lot of his props are underrepresented. I don't think those lines are accurate. So if you want to jump on that and you think you're getting good value with Cade based off the minutes he's playing the last couple of games, those are all in good spots. All right, let's look up I'll look up the Nico Horner for you, Seaver, and then we'll recap the plays from earlier, and then we will dip out. So Nico Horner over hits, runs, and RBIs. Cubs put it on yesterday, man. Was it 9-1, 8-1? What was the final score there? 12-2. Oh my god. 12-2. This might be a good bounce back game for Nico Horner. I mean, he had 3 at bats yesterday. He had a run scored and 2 walks. It's not his fault they walked him, you know? So I'm sure he would much rather like try to hit the ball, but you get on base any way you can. What's up, G-Mac? What's going on? All right, let's look up Rui. Let's look up Horner. over on props.cash. Let's pull up the Lakers game against Washington. I mean, you got some guys on in this game that maybe have a little chip on their shoulder. Rui being, honestly, again, a lot of times we talk about these narratives where players go back to face their old teams. I mean, if you were on a contending team and then you get traded to the Hornets, I think you got some gripe. If you're on the Washington Wizards and they trade you to the Lakers and you're making it to the Western Conference Championship and you're getting to play alongside LeBron James, you're sending their ass a fruit basket every goddamn month, thanking them for saving your career. I don't know if there's any animosity between Rui. Maybe there's bad blood between him and the front office or something like that. But yeah, this doesn't have like the chip on the shoulder thing. He may just want to have a good game because he wants to show out a little bit. But that was definitely a situation to improve his career. 14 points is his line today. So find it at 13.5. If you can find it at 13.5, that's where you play it. It's obviously been bumped up to 14. It will again be bumped up to 14.5. I'm sure before the end of the day, based off the matchup. He is 5-0 in terms of not going under this line, but 3 games he's gone over his last 10 games. Does that make sense? So because he's pushing these games, it's not an under. So you can literally say he has a 90% hit rate in not going under. But when you look at the clear overs, you're only going to look at the green bars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's gone over in 5. A push is not the worst thing in the world. It doesn't pay you for a push. However, you don't lose. Obviously, you're getting very positive game logs here. You do know the matchup is a good matchup for him. He is projected for 17 points. You want to round that up. At 13.5, you are getting strong odds at -120, -137, -135. This is similar to the Kristaps Porzingis point prop where it got bumped up from 19.5 to 20 or 20.5 to 20. So we're going to look at the 13.5 points for Rui because he needs 14 to go over 13.5. He needs 15 to go over 14, but at 14, you saw what the game logs look like. They're not terrible. There are a lot of good things to like here. Rui's minutes always in question just because you never know what Darvin Ham wants to do with his guys. And you're not seeing a whole lot of consistency here. Yeah, he's more than likely going to get you 25 or more, but does he get you 30? I don't know. Does he get you 35? I don't know. So you can't even count on the high minutes. So you're just banking on that he gets you his floor, which is 24 minutes. If he gets you 24 minutes today, it might be enough to go over 14. It should be enough to go over 14. All right, Nico Horner over hits, runs, and RBIs. Maybe looking at a bounce back game for him against the Rockies. All right. Oh, Seaver says he took Rui's first half PRA. Have you looked at that, Timothy? Sometimes when these full game props get bumped up, instead of playing the bump, go immediately to the first half prop because they don't always bump them up at the same time. So you're still going to get a value on the first half. You can always look to the first half props as a backup. There he is. All right. 2 games against the Colorado Rockies. He has mustered 1 hit, run, or RBI in these 2 games. Now, these are all this season. Yeah. He's in need of a good game. To start the season off, not the best. 1 game out of his last 5, he's gone over this. Matchup against the Rockies. This was in Wrigley. Coors. Minus 120. So the odds are slightly in favor. All right, so let's look at his matchup against Cal Quantrill, assuming Cal Quantrill takes the mound today for the Rockies. 5 at-bats, 3 singles, 1 double, and 4 RBIs for a if I'm reading this correct, 800 batting average. Obviously, that's not sustainable, but in this small sample size, it is what it is. He hits this guy very well. Hoerner versus right-handed pitching last season, not a bad average at all. He just mashed lefties better, so these odds don't look as strong. Much more plate appearances versus right-handed pitching, so that'll automatically bring your numbers down a little bit. The majority of his power is versus right-handed pitching, so you have a lot of good things in favor of him having a better game today. Quantrill versus right-handed batters last season, 290 batting average. Did a very good job of not giving up a ton of power, but in terms of just hits, he's given up a ton of those. So it's a good spot. He has to break out of this little slump at some point. It's a good team to do it against. And what better pitcher to do it against than against Cal Quantrill, a pitcher he's owned in the past. So that one looks like a positive play for Nico Hoerner. Yeah, I just head-to-head. Yep. Does he have a... What are his demon props? When you get head-to-head numbers, head-to-head may not always be the best statistic to look at for every prop for a player, but like for a demon prop, for like a home run or like an RBI demon prop, like he has 4 RBIs against him, right? So even if his odds to hit an RBI today are low, but the BVP looks good, that is when I would take a shot on a demon, because the history is there against that pitcher. So if you like the over on his hits, runs, and RBIs, you can look to a couple of these demons. I think the RBI is in play though. And again, if you ran this as a 2-pick, that would increase your payout from a 3x to a 4.5x. I'm going to leave his RBI demon prop up there in the screenshot. I think it's I think it's in play. I like that. La Liga, what's going on? Good morning. Christian Yelich over. This is your slip. Christian Yelich over hits, runs, and RBIs. Mookie Betts over fantasy score. Trey Murphy, 6 rebounds. Darnell Nurse over 2.5 shots on goal. That's your 4-man flex. GMAC, let's get that Mookie Betts in there for you real quick. Total bases. Does anybody know Mookie Betts' real name? That's not his real name, right? His name's not Mookie. I literally thought Buddy Hield. I thought that was his first name. I thought his first name was Buddy. And he played at OU, so I was like, Oklahoma, Buddy. I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Like it's kind of got that country vibe to it, Buddy. You know. And come to find out, he's like from the Bahamas. I'm like, damn. How do you get Buddy from Shavano? Some of these nicknames are fun though. All right, I'm over here talking shit. Where's the Dodgers game? All right, Mookie Betts. There he is. All right, so total bases for Mookie Betts today. Right here. All right, so numbers against San Francisco, 44% hit rate. I don't know if all those games were with the Dodgers. Possible. His last 5 games are going to give you the best sample size just because They're from this year. He's rolling, man. Mookie Betts is rolling. 2 games against San Francisco so far, 10 total bases. Just, he's rolling. Looking at his odds today to go over total base prop, a lot of books don't like the over. You got all these books in favor of the under. Probably because Kyle Harrison has owned him in 6 plate appearances. Mookie Betts is hitless. He has not got on base. He has not driven in a run. He's done nothing. Now, Mookie Betts versus lefties, he's equally as good from both sides of the plate in terms of batting average. 302 batting average, 309 batting average last season. Saw 183 lefties last season, 14 homers, 14 doubles, and 183 plate appearances. Now, his right-handed numbers are a bit stronger just based off the volume. So, I mean, almost a 300, over 300 pitcher space difference in the two here. And that'll definitely sway the numbers. Harrison versus righties. So you have a pitcher who last season pitched well versus righties, allowing a sub 200 batting average in 105 plate appearances. He did give up 5 home runs. He did give up some extra base hits. Numbers are a little worse against the lefties. 333 batting average. The sample size isn't really there. That's not a lot of batters face, but Mookie Betts has not done well against this guy. So maybe, oh, fuck. I'm so sorry. I didn't realize the screen wasn't sharing. Last 2 games, 10 total bases against the Giants. On the year so far, Mookie is rolling. All these are from this season, recent games. Projections don't look good at 0.8 total bases, and all the books do like the under for Mookie, unfortunately. What I was looking at was his numbers against Harrison. He's 0 for 6 with not one recorded statistic. He does hit lefties well. He did hit them well last season. He just didn't hit him well last season. And then Harrison against right-handed batters does a very good job of limiting power and overall production. So the matchup just doesn't seem like a good one for Mookie. So that would explain why his projections are low and why the books are not on him. In fact, Freeman 0 for 6. Will Smith 0 for 4. I mean, he's done a good job against this team. Typically, these guys hit lefties well. Just not Kyle Harrison. I don't know. If you feel like there's something there for the Dodgers, you can go with that one. But man, I mean, maybe Harrison gets blown up today, but in the past, he's done a really good job against this team. All right. All right. I think that's going to do it, ladies and gentlemen. That brings this stream to an end. Did I screenshot these? I did screenshot these. I screenshotted these really quick. For those of you who missed the start of the stream, I did share a few plays that I took from the Discord. Sharing these plays from my providers in the Discord. That Drew Holiday play is no longer on PrizePicks. You can find it on HOTSTREAK. You can play the Goblin if you want on PrizePicks at 3.5. That should say assist and not PRA. Suggs over 3-pointers made. It is a decreased payout on Underdog, but it is a full payout on HOTSTREAK if you want to play it there. And then D'Angelo Russell over 17.5 points. both playable on both Hot Streak and Underdog. Also talked about the over on Scoot Henderson's turnovers. That is my write-up for today. That is in the free section of the Discord. 4-1 with player write-ups over the past 5 days in that Discord. Free section, you can check it out, along with a free sheet, along with plus EV plays, along with a lot of information. So stop on by the Discord, check it out. But that's what we shared earlier today. So if you can still find these plays at these lines, they're in good spots. By the time we get to the live stream, though, a lot of these plays have been moved and bumped. They've been on the board for 10 hours. So it's just bad timing for me, because I don't want to do the live stream any earlier. And if we wait any longer, then a lot of the value gets taken off the board. So these are always going to be posted in the Discord first before we go live. So if you want to get a head start on those, that's where you'll find them before we go live. But that's going to do it for today. No live stream tomorrow. Be back on Friday, 9 a.m. for another live player prop talk live stream here on the channel. Consider subbing up to the channel, hit that like button, and consider sharing my channel with somebody you know. Best of luck to you all. Hope all of your player props respect the damn coin. Again, be sure to stop by the Discord for tons of content and additional plays. Yeah, if you guys need help with your plays, ask questions. That's what we're there for in the Discord. But I'll see everybody Friday morning at 9 a.m. for another live session. And until that live stream, Chavez is out.